Hi class, so we are now on week 3 of the semester. So I do want to first welcome you guys again. Obviously this is the third week, but this I guess is the first time that you're seeing me live. So I've seen all of your pictures, so thank you guys for introducing yourselves to each other. So hopefully if you see each other on campus, if you go to WCC, now you can put a face to the name. If not, for those that go to other colleges during the fall and spring semester, you're able to network with other people from other schools around the area. There are a lot of you who are from area colleges across the country and around the area as well. So welcome to WCC. So I do want to say a couple things. So the first one is we are now on week 3, right? So if you know, and I have here the updated timeline, right? I have my little arrows. So if you remember, Unit 2 test has been moved. It's now going to be moved to week 5, and the reason why is because I have the video and other things for you guys to do, so I do not want to have two big things due in 1 week. So again, week 3, so do chapter 7, read chapter 7, read chapter 9, do the Learn Smarts for both of those. And there is a discussion board, so you should be able to find a video. Remember, not from a film, not from a scene. It should be where there's an actual audience there listening to this person. Aside from that, you should be uploading your chapter presentation, so practice that. I'm still looking at some of the discussion boards to see what topics you guys have chosen. So far, they look pretty good. If you just look at the comments in the Grade Center, you should be able to look at if there's a question I may have posed a question. If not, then you're all set. All right, so just make sure to look at that. I have graded your speeches, your informative speeches. So this is where I really want you guys to start paying attention to the video. If you are not, pay attention to what I'm going to say the next few minutes. So I just want to go through a list of things that I've noticed after reviewing all of your videos. So I just want to focus on 7 things. I know it's a lot, but I'll try to go through it very quickly. So in your videos, and again, I'm just going through this because I have the information there. It's in the syllabus and the course outline, but it's also in the diagram. But I feel like a lot of people have not been, I guess, misunderstanding or not reading the instructions carefully. So I do want to make this very, very clear to everyone. This is for your videos that you record for your presentations. Okay, so number 1 is main points. Please make sure to state your main points in the introduction and also restate them at the end in the conclusion. Some people have been missing that part. Make sure you do both. Also, an introduction is not just you stating what your topic is and stating your main points. Okay, again, your introduction is not only you stating your topic and stating your main points. That is not a full introduction. That you need to expand on that. So just like you would an essay where you would develop like an introduction, right? And then at the end of your introduction, you would say, these are my main points. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, a full introduction, not just one sentence. This is what I'm going to talk about, and then these are my main points. That is not an introduction, so expand on it more. The second thing is I want everyone to look at the diagram again. For the diagram, which by the way I have the list in front of me, which is why I'm kind of looking off to the side. The diagram, please follow the diagram. You should be presenting to your audience and not to the camera, right? So I've seen a lot of people who they're talking only to the camera. There's people right in front of you should be paying attention to. So we just have the camera there because I have to see, right? I have to assess your public speaking skills, all right? So I'm like the invisible person in the room just kind of sneaking in and looking at how you're presenting. Also, make sure your audience members are in the shot. Their faces, even if it's kind of like the side, on all 3 of them, if you have 3 or if you have 4, some people have had more. I have to see their reactions to what you're saying, okay? So I cannot just see the back of their heads completely. I cannot tell if they're receiving, understanding what you're saying to them, okay? Also, your audience should not be standing. They should be seated, so much like in a classroom. It's essentially, this is to emulate the classroom. Everyone should be seated and not standing right in front of you, right? They should be seated paying attention. Also, your audience members should not be holding up anything for you. All right, remember, they are the audience, so they're there to just listen. They're not there to be part of your presentation. They're not presenting with you to the camera. Should not be holding anything, unless obviously you give them something to pass around, that's fine. But they should not be holding anything. You are speaking to them. They're supposed to be listening, all right? Also, please make sure there's no pets. The reason why I say this is because it's very distracting for the audience members. So in a classroom, you would never have pets, right? So the same thing. Try and I have a dog, so I totally understand when your dog wants to be petted. But if you can, maybe kind of corner off a section of the house or the apartment that they can kind of be away for a few minutes, 5 minutes max, right? So just keep that in mind. You do not want anything to be distracting to your audience members as you're delivering a message. Also, no panning, no handheld of the camera. Please keep the camera steady. I'll be honest, some people are very shaky with the cameras, and that's why I do not have a handheld. I mean, like this the whole time, like this, almost like dozing off. Keep it steady, put it on a table, leave it down. And then also leave all questions at the end. So if you're engaging the audience in the beginning, that's fine. Maybe polling them, asking them something. Um, you can have feedback, but do not have it throughout the presentation, right? Because what happens is, especially if it's a short presentation, they hijack the presentation. So leave all questions for the end, and feel free to stay it. I'll answer that. It's a very good question. Ask that question again at the very end, or I will answer that question later on, as you'll see, right? So feel free to say that. 3 slides, make sure that you have less text and large font size. I find that size 36 and up works when presenting. Also, if you have an image, feel free to put that and show that up on the screen. PowerPoint is supposed to complement what you're saying. So if you just have an image, explain the image. You don't have to have text. That's perfectly fine. Also work on not reading. There were a few people that were actually reading straight from no cards or paper. There's absolutely no reading. I've accepted it this time. It is the first presentation, but do not do that. What you should do instead is rehearse and practice so that you know the content. Don't memorize it. Just know the content and know what you're going to say next. Use a PowerPoint to help guide you on what you're about to say, and keep practicing until you know the content and you're able to say it without, you saying everything word for word, which you don't, all right? Just relay the information. It does not have to be word for word, all right? Tone, the fourth thing, the tone. So don't sound so rehearsed. I find that some people actually sounded like they rehearsed it word for word as if it was a monologue in a play. So try not to do that. This is not a memorized speech. All right, this is not a memorized speech. So try to work with just sound natural and let it come natural. Rehearse, but rehearse to know the content, not rehearse it to know word for word. Same thing with Q&A. I noticed some people, audience members, would ask questions, but it sounded very rehearsed, where they would say, "What is this?" Good question. And then you would respond. It's like, is that really natural, right? So it should just be just like the classroom, right? Let the questions be natural. Let the questions just come and go. Don't have it forced, okay? The fifth thing I want to say is the presentations. Make sure you keep within the time, and make sure you also expand it to the time. What do I mean by that? There were a couple of people that had like very, very short presentations. That is not acceptable. Also, it doesn't mean you have to present for 10 minutes. Remember, look at the time limits. I will hold you to that. And you will see that in the next few chapters why timing is important. Also, work on slowing down. Some people, I guess, felt like they were rushing against the clock. Um, don't feel like so. In having said that, I found that people were talking extremely fast. Um, Slow down, right? Slow down. Let your audience absorb the information that you're presenting. If you find that you're going over time, then that means you have to cut out some of the content that you have in your presentation. The last two things, do not edit your video, please. That is one thing that will pretty much be an automatic 0. There were a couple of people that edited their video. There should be absolutely no reason why you should edit your video, especially being that you've gone through this one speech. If you do edit for your chapter or for the next one after that, it will be a 0. If you go through the process of actually cutting and editing a video, I will not accept that. There should be no reason why you should be editing a video. This should be a one-cut deal. If you find that you make a mistake, sorry, but you have to kind of go back and do it again. Or what you really should do is just say, okay, my apologies, hold on, let me find my place. Okay, and then continue, right? Do not feel like you have to redo everything. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake, that's fine, but do not edit the video. Same thing as in class. we have that time together. If you are in class, you have that time from the class. There's no such thing as, edit, cut, and while you're live in front of your classmates. So do not do that at all under any circumstances at all. I repeat, do not edit your video. And the last thing is, do not be afraid to say thank you when you're done with your presentation. Some people ended with their presentation and then said, okay, so that's it. Right? Feel free to just say, and thank you so much for listening, or having something like that. Thank you. Say something simple just to end your presentation so it's not that awkward, like, oh, are you done? Right? So just end it with a thank you, and then people know, okay, good job. That was a great presentation, right? So I know this was a very lengthy video, and I hate to kind of have, especially my first video, be a long, lengthy video, but I really feel that being this is a summer class, that I have to say these things so that you guys can get better grades and work on enhancing your communication skills, especially when it comes to public speaking. All right. Anyway, if you have any questions, which many of you have, continue to email me. I'll be happy to respond to you. But first, look at the syllabus, look at the course outline, look at the timeline of dates. Okay, so just go through all that again. If you're not sure, if you still have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will be happy to answer them for you. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. This is summer, guys, so I hope you guys are enjoying some of the weather, beautiful weather, but do not forget to do the homework. It is due when it is due. All right, I'll talk to you soon.